Ada clutched Chike's shirt, her tears soaking through the fabric. "Obim, how can I live without you?" she whispered into the empty room. But that night, the impossible happened. A cool breeze brushed her cheek, and there he was, standing in the corner of the room, his smile as warm as ever. "Ada, my sunshine," Chike said softly, "I promise I would never leave you." From that moment, Chike's ghost became her strength, her reason to wake up each morning. But as she started to live again, the world began to judge her. How could she explain that her heart still beat because of the man everyone thought was gone forever? Ada and Chike were known by everyone in their neighborhood. Their love was so sweet that people admired them and wished for the same. Some people even felt jealous because of how close they were. Ada and Chike did everything together. Anywhere you see Chike, you will know Ada was nearby. And if you see Ada, that means Chike wouldn't be far. They cooked together, went to the market together, and even prayed together every night. On Sundays, they would always sit next to each other in church. They wore matching outfits most of the time, which made people smile. The pastor often pointed at them during his sermon and said, "If you are looking for an example of love and marriage, just look at Ada and Chike." Other couples in church would nod in agreement. Ada would smile shyly while Chike squeezed her hand gently, looking at her with that kind of love that made her heart feel warm every time. People called them the perfect couple. No matter how busy Chike was with work, he always made time for Ada. And Ada, no matter how tired she was, would always make sure Chike's food was ready when he got home. They were truly happy. One day, Chike told Ada that he had to go to the city for a business meeting. Ada frowned and begged him not to go because it had started raining heavily. "Obim, can't you postpone the meeting?" she asked. "The rain is too much." Chike laughed softly and hugged her. "My sunshine, it's just a small trip. I'll be fine. Don't worry. I'll even stop by Mama Nkechi's store and bring you roasted plantain on my way back." Ada sighed but smiled. "You and this roasted plantain. Okay, but please drive safely, Obim." Chike kissed her forehead, grabbed his bag and left. "I will be back before dinner," he called out as he walked to the car. But Chike didn't come back. The rain didn't stop, and Ada began to feel uneasy. She tried calling Chike, but his phone was switched off. She told herself he was probably in the meeting and couldn't answer. But as hours passed, her worry grew. Then a call came in. It wasn't Chike. It was from someone who told her there had been an accident on the expressway. Chike's car was involved. Ada rushed to the hospital. Her heart racing so fast it felt like it would burst out of her chest. When she arrived, the doctors told her there was nothing they could do. Chike had died on the spot. A trailer had lost its brake and crashed into his car. Ada's leg gave way and she fell to the ground screaming. When they took her to the morgue to identify his body, she couldn't believe what she was seeing. Her Chike, her sunshine, the man who made her life so bright, was lying there lifelessly. His face was barely recognizable. Ada screamed until her voice was gone. From that day, Ada's life changed completely. She refused to eat, refused to talk to anyone, and refused to leave the house. She stayed in her bedroom every day, hugging Chike's shirt and crying until her tears dried up. Friends and family came to visit, trying to console her, but nothing worked. Her world had changed. Her world had ended. Ada, you have to eat, her mother begged one day, placing a plate of food in front of her. But Ada just shook her head. How can I eat when Chike is gone? She whispered. What's the point of living? Her mother cried but didn't give up. She called Ada's elder brother Obi to come and talk to her. Obi tried his best, but Ada didn't listen to him either. She stayed in the room, staring at the walls or at Chike's picture on her phone. Twice Ada tried to end her life. The first time she drank poison, but her mother caught her and rushed her to the hospital. The second time, she climbed the balcony and was about to jump when Obi dragged her back. Ada, you okay? Obi shouted, shaking her. Do you want to die and leave us too? Ada cried and said, I want to be with my husband. Her family didn't know what else to do. They called pastors. They prayed. They tried to take her to a therapist. But Ada refused everything. Nobody can help me, she told them. The only person who can help me is gone. For weeks, Ada stayed like that, barely eating, barely moving. Her body grew thinner, and her eyes lost their shine. People started to worry that she might not survive. One night, while she was sitting on the floor of her bedroom, holding Chike's shirt and crying, she felt a cool breeze. It was strange because all the windows were closed. She looked up, and there he was. He was standing in the corner of the room, looking just like he did before he died. He was glowing faintly, but his smile was the same. Ada froze, unable to believe her eyes. Obim, she whispered, her voice shaking. Is it really you? He stepped closer, his eyes full of love. Yes, my sunshine, it's me. Ada blinked, her heart racing. How? Am I dreaming? No, you are not dreaming, Chike said softly. I couldn't leave you like this. I'm here to take care of you. Ada started crying again, but this time it wasn't out of pain. It was relief, joy, and a little bit of confusion. Oh, Bim, I thought I would never see you again. I promised you that I will be with you, he said. Didn't I? From that moment, Chike's ghost became her constant companion. He stayed with her every day, talking to her, making her laugh and helping her heal. Ada slowly started coming back to life. She began eating again, smiling again, and even going out. Her family noticed the change and were surprised. Ada, you look better, her mother said one day, happy but confused. Are you sure you are okay? I'm fine, Mama, Ada said, smiling. But there were things she couldn't explain to them, like how Chike would sit with her at the dining table, even though no one else could see him, or how he would whisper jokes to her, making her laugh so hard that her mother would come in and ask, Ada, what's funny? Ada began to feel like herself again, but it was all because of Chike's presence. The mornings that used to feel so heavy now came with a strange kind of joy. She would wake up and find him sitting at the edge of the bed, smiling at her. Good morning, sunshine, he would say, just like he used to when he was alive. Ada would smile back, tears threatening to fill her eyes, but Chike always stopped her. No tears today, Ada. I'm here, and I will always be here. Let's focus on the good things. At first, Ada thought she was losing her mind. She would look around the room, expecting someone to walk in and confirm what she was saying. But it was always just the two of them. Chike's voice was clear, his presence strong, and she could even smell his favorite cologne. Obim, why are you still here? She asked one day as they sat on the couch. He leaned back, his expression calm. I can't leave you like this, Ada. You are my sunshine. How can I rest when you are so broken? But how is it possible? She whispered, her voice trembling. Are you a ghost? Am I dreaming? Chike chuckled softly. Does it matter? What matters is that I'm here and I will help you heal. You are not alone, my sunshine. From that moment, Ada stopped questioning it. She accepted Chike's presence as a gift, a miracle she didn't deserve but was grateful for. One day, Chike told her to get dressed. Dressed? Ada raised an eyebrow. Why? Where are we going? You need to go out, Chike said firmly. You've been in this house for too long. Ada hesitated. I don't think I'm ready, Obim. What if people ask questions? Let them ask, he said, his voice gentle but firm. You can't lock up forever. Put on something nice. I will come with you. Ada sighed but nodded. She went to her wardrobe, put out one of her old dresses. It was simple, plain and black. No, Chike said immediately. Not that one. What's wrong with it? She asked, frowning. It's too sad, he replied. Pick something colorful. You look beautiful in yellow. Ada hesitated, but she trusted him. She found the yellow dress she hadn't worn in months and put it on. When she looked into the mirror, she felt strange. It was the first time in a long time that she didn't look like someone mourning. Perfect, Chike said, smiling. As she stepped out of the house, Ada felt nervous. The sunlight was so bright, the street too loud. She kept looking around, half expecting people to stop and stare. But no one did. Chike walked beside her, guiding her to the market. Let's get some fresh food, he said. At the market, Ada felt Chike's hand on her shoulder, steering her towards a fruit store. Pick those oranges, he said. They look good. Do you want some too? Ada replied. The fruit seller gave Ada a curious look. Madam, who are you talking to? Ada froze. She hadn't realized she had spoken out loud. Oh, nobody, she said quickly, laughing nervously. The fruit seller shrugged and handed her the bag of oranges. But as Ada paid and walked away, she could feel people's eyes on her. She tried to ignore it, focusing instead on Chike's soft laughter. You will get used to it, he said. That evening, Ada's family came to visit. Her mother and brother, Obi, noticed her improved mood. Ada, you are glowing, her mother said, smiling. It's good to see you like this. Hope you are eating well, my daughter. I'm fine, Mama, Ada replied, her tone light. Obi wasn't convinced. He narrowed his eyes at her. You look different, he said. What changed? Nothing, Ada said quickly. I just decided to start taking care of myself. Obi didn't believe her. He exchanged a look with their mother, who struggled. As they sat in the living room chatting, Ada kept glancing at the corner of the room where Chike was sitting. He was smiling at her, nodding in approval, but every time she caught herself staring, she quickly looked away, hoping no one noticed. Ada, are you okay? Her mother asked at a point. Yes, Mama, she said, forcing a smile. The next day, Chike suggested they go shopping. You need new clothes, he said. Oh, Bean, I have plenty of clothes, Ada argued. Most of them are black, he pointed out. Let's get something brighter. Ada sighed but agreed. At the boutique, Chike was as opinionated as ever. Try that red dress, he said, pointing to a rack. Ada picked up the dress and went to the fitting room. As she tried it on, she could hear Chike's voice. Turn around, let me see. When she came out, the sales girl gave her a puzzled look. Madam, who were you talking to? Ada smiled awkwardly. Oh, no one. Just thinking out loud. The girl raised an eyebrow but didn't press further. By the time Ada left the boutique, she had a bag full of colorful clothes. She felt strange but happy. For the first time in months, she felt like she was living again. Ada's family began to notice the changes more and more. She was no longer wearing morning clothes. She smiled often, laughed even. She started cooking again, and her house was filled with the smell of her delicious soups and stews. But her in-laws weren't pleased. One afternoon, Chike's elder brother Emeka came to visit. He looked around the house, his face dark. Ada, what's going on? He asked. You are supposed to be mourning my brother. But look at you. New clothes, makeup. People are talking. Talking about what? Ada asked, trying to keep her voice calm. They are saying you've moved on too quickly, Emeka said. That you have a boyfriend. Ada felt anger rise in her chest. That's nonsense, she said firmly. I'm just trying to live my life. It's disrespectful, Emeka snapped. You are supposed to mourn for at least a year. Where are you even getting the money for all these things? Ada didn't answer. How could she explain that Chike was still taking care of her? That evening, after Emeka's visit, Ada sat in her living room, her hands trembling with anger. Chike was sitting on the armrest of the couch, watching her quietly. Don't let them get to you, sunshine, he said softly. Ada looked up at him, her eyes filled with tears. But how can I not, Obim? They think I've betrayed you. They think I've moved on, when all I've done is try to survive. Chike leaned closer, his voice gentle but firm. Ada, you all know one an explanation. You are living your life the way I want you to. Let them talk. What matters is that you are happy. But they are your family, Ada whispered. I don't want them to think I didn't love you enough. Chike smiled sadly. They don't know our love. They never will. But don't let their ignorance stop you from living. The next few weeks were a mixture of peace and tension. Chike continued to be by Ada's side, guiding her and filling her days with joy. He would sit with her while she cooked, making jokes that only her could hear. He would follow her to the market, helping her pick the fresher vegetables, and every evening they would sit on the porch together, watching the sunset. But Ada's in-law didn't stop their whispers. Their rumors grew louder, spreading through the neighborhood. One day, Chike's mother, Mama Chike, came to Ada's house unannounced. Ada was in the middle of folding laundry when she heard the knock on the door. She opened it to find Mama Chike standing there, her face stern. Mama, good afternoon, Ada said politely, stepping aside to let her in. Mama Chike didn't waste time with pleasantries. She sat down and fixed Ada with a piercing gaze. Ada, what's going on with you, Wam? Ada frowned. I don't understand, Mama. You don't wear morning clothes anymore, Mama Chike said. You are always smiling, always dressed up. People are talking. They say you've forgotten my son so soon. Ada's heart sank. She wanted to defend herself, to explain, but how could she? She couldn't exactly tell Mama Chike that her son's ghost was living with her. Mama, I haven't forgotten Chike, she said carefully. I loved him more than anything, but he wouldn't want me to stay sad forever. Mama Chike shook her head. Her expression hard. It's not about what he would want. It's about respect. You are supposed to mourn him for at least a year. Nothing less is a disgrace. Ada clenched her fist, trying to keep calm. Mama, I'm not trying to disrespect anyone. I'm just trying to find a way to live. Mama Chike stood up abruptly, her voice rising. If you loved my son as much as you claim, you would show it. You wouldn't be out here acting like a free woman. Tears filled Ada's eyes, but she refused to let them fall. Mama, please leave. I can't have this conversation with you right now. Mama Chike's face twisted in anger. So this is what it has come to always. You are chasing me out of my son's house? Ada shook her head. It's not like that. I just need space, please, Mama. With a huff, Mama Chike stormed out, slamming the door behind her. That night, Ada sat on the floor of her bedroom, hugging one of Chike's old shirts. Obim, I don't know how much more of this I can take, she said, her voice breaking. He appeared beside her, his expression full of concern. My sunshine, you are stronger than this. Don't let them break you. But it's so hard, she whispered. I feel like fighting everyone. Chike knelt in front of her. You are not alone, my sunshine. I'm here. I will always be here. Don't forget that. His words gave her strength, but the tension with her in-laws didn't go away. In fact, it got worse. A few days later, they called a family meeting. Ada sat in the middle of the room, surrounded by Chike's relatives. Mama Chike was there, along with Emeka and two of Chike's aunts. Their faces were grim, their eyes filled with judgment. Ada, Emeka began, his tone cold. We've called you here because we are concerned about your behavior. Ada glanced around the room, her stomach churning with anxiety. What behavior? You are not acting like a widow, one of the aunts said sharply. You are supposed to mourn our brother, but instead, you are out there dressing up and smiling as if nothing happened. Ada's hand clenched into fist. I've done nothing wrong. I'm just trying to move on with my life. Mama Chike scoffed. Osi, move on. It's been barely 6 months. What kind of wife forgets her husband so quickly? I haven't forgotten him. Ada snapped, her voice rising. I think about Chike every single day, but he wouldn't want me to stop living. He wouldn't want me to spend my life in pain. The room fell silent for a moment. Then Emeka leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. You haven't forgotten him. Then where are you getting all this money from? The new clothes, the shopping trips. Who is giving you the money, Ada? Ada froze. She couldn't answer that question. How could she explain that Chike's ghost was the one providing for her? I don't have to explain myself to you, she said finally, her voice shaking. Emeka slammed his hand on the table. You do, Ada. You are still part of this family, and we deserve to know the truth. Ada stood up abruptly, her chest heaving. The truth is, I loved Chike with all my heart, and I still do, but I won't let any of you control how I grieve. I'm done with this meeting. Before anyone could stop her, she walked out of the room, her head held high. Thank you for listening to this story. What do you think about Ada and Chike's love life story? Do you think Ada will be bent on family pressure and disclose the secrets to them? Or will she keep this secret hidden and enjoy her life with her husband's ghost? I bet you want to know. then subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified when the part 2 is dropped. See you in my next one. God bless you.